imposter syndrome, as many of you know, is the experience of feeling like we are fakes, or feeling that despite our consistent examples of excellence and despite our competence, we feel like our success is a house of cards, that any given moment it will unravel, or our success is a mistake, despite having consistent examples of our excellence. So I'm wondering, Minda, for the girls of, and for the young people who are joining us today, what messages do you have for them around how to interrupt their experiences of feeling like imposters? And then I'm going to ask you as well, like, what words of wisdom do you have for the elders? And by the way, I'm using the term elders more and more because I think it's such a beautiful, respectful way of looking at those who hold wisdom. Like, I come from a culture, Punjabi culture, where we really deeply respect people who have years of wisdom. We have words for them in Punjabi, and the word in English that I can come to that's the closest would be elders. So I'm thinking about the elders, the mentors, the allies, the champions, the caregivers, the people, the bosses, the supervisors on today. What words would you have for the elders around, here's how you can support kids of color, women of color, young girls of color around interrupting the imposter syndrome?
Absolutely. I was at one high school, girls' school in Long Island not too long ago, and I did a fireside chat, and a young lady interviewed me, and then afterwards I had a round table with certain students that the principal picked, and I got a chance to ask them questions. And one of the questions that I asked them, I said, what does imposter syndrome mean to you, and how have you been combating it? And one of the girls said to me, well, it's hard to talk about because I feel like my parents don't talk to me about it. They just say, go be great or whatever, but we don't actually have these conversations. And the one thing that I noticed was that sometimes they felt like their voices are not heard, right? Mm-hmm. And how many of us women of color, people of color, feel like our voices aren't heard, that we don't have a space, a safe place to land to say that I feel this way about something. And so the one thing that I would encourage all of you on the line to is hear your teen out. Any young adult in your life, hear them out. Let them get that off their chest. Because if they don't have a space where they get to say, I feel like I don't belong, or I'm not sure if my hair is this or that. Like, I went to a high school and a junior high where I was the only Black girl in my classes 9 times out of 10. And at my high school, I think we might've had 5 Black kids, So I was always told, Ritu, that I was cute for a Black girl, but nobody ever wanted to date me. So I went through high school, I went through junior high, thinking that I wasn't pretty, that I wasn't good enough. Ethnic hairstyles that I would hold, I would be called greaseball, so I had all of these different things where I never felt like I belonged. And so to your point, when I went into the workplace, I felt that same way at times, right? And so it was so important. And no matter how many times my parents said that you're good enough and you're pretty, all those things, but when you are in these spaces, right, you need someone to remind you that's not necessarily your parent sometimes, because it sounds different, right, when you hear it from somebody else. And it was really important for me to write this book in a way of being like a big sister. Let's get our snacks on a Friday night. Let's talk about the stuff. I know how you feel, little sis. And so part of that is mindset shift. I talk about that in each and every one of my books, but we have to first make sure that we see ourselves, that we aren't gaslighting ourselves. And I think part of imposter syndrome is gaslighting ourselves. And so once we get that out of the equation and fill it with love, dignity, and respect, then we can see ourselves in a different way. And I think just, again, acknowledging that they feel this way, but reminding them that they have everything they need already on the inside of them, and that they are beautiful, and giving them the tools to be able to say, just because Peter doesn't think I'm cute doesn't mean I'm not, right? And that we don't subscribe to these ideas of what pretty is due to dominant culture. And so I think having those really authentic conversations to say that in a space where they can be vulnerable is really, really important.